Stores and restaurants dreaming of a Merry Christmas. Railway official admits to substandard work at Hongham Station. And goalkeeper in the line of fire, literally. Good evening. Businesses around town are keeping their fingers crossed this Christmas holiday. Expectations have been dampened slightly by trade tensions between the US and China. Here's Pinky Wong.
It'll be anything but a silent sight in Lang Kwai Fong. This restaurant is expecting a full house as diners book 2 weeks in advance, which will hopefully bring a 10% business growth this Christmas.
It's in the heart of Lang Kwai Fong, in the ground floor. If we are somewhere in Lang Kwai Fong, but we are in the 7th or 9th floor, maybe we are not that good.
The trade war between the U.S. and China, and also the devaluation of renminbi, the fluctuations of the stock market, and also the property market is not that stable. So many people will stay in Hong Kong and then they will spend cautiously.
In light of the African swine fever outbreak, restaurants have used less pork and included other meat dishes this year. For those planning a liquid diet, take note of pills that claim to lower your chances of getting drunk.
With the pills, I think it will be helpful. Sure.
Pharmacists aren't so sure.
You would see statements that say this will prevent drunkenness. But then when you actually look inside the active ingredients, a lot of them are really health products that may not be actually be significant in reducing the alcohol effects. The claims which some of the products have on regarding metabolizing alcohol, we have not seen the scientific evidence.
Some of the drugs that are readily available at convenience stores contain Chinese medicine components such as ginseng. Beware though, as the Academy warned that could lead to food-drug interaction, causing people to feel dizzy or nauseous. Perhaps best to just drink in moderation. Pinky Wong, TVB News.
This Christmas, you can expect larger crowds at local malls and tourist attractions. But not everyone wants hordes of people in their neighborhood. Elmi Long reports.
The more the merrier, not if you ask those who live in To Kwa Wan. They spit, litter and squat everywhere, said this woman. Another complained about the noise levels. Jewelry and chocolate shops in the area are often on the travel of tourism. Travel Industry Council for help, the lawmakers also want the police to step up enforcement and clamp down on traffic violations in the district. Elmi Long, TVB News.
The MTR Corporation says its checks on connections of steel bars to couplers at Hongham Station have so far shown no evidence of any bars being cut short. A company executive, however, admits the quality of work of the connections fell short of the standard. Meanwhile, an independent consultant of the MTRC has suggested a structural safety standard that differs from the government's. But authorities reiterated that those are proper requirements and will carry out stringent checking according to them. Sharon Tang reports.
It's been 2 weeks since the MTR Corporation began breaking open 80 spots on 2 platforms of the Hongham Station extension. That's equivalent to inspecting around 168 rebar and coupler connections. So far, 6 out of 10 connections exposed were proven problematic as the steel bars were not completely screwed into the couplers. According to the Buildings Department, the embedded length of a threaded steel bar inside the coupler should be at least 40 millimeters. That means there should only be at most 2 full threads exposed. However, the MTRC's independent consultant, Yim Kin Ping, today suggested the otherwise. He said that he would still consider the rebar and couplers connections to be within structural safety standards, even if 4 full threads were exposed. Yim also noted that the so-called requirement was only meant for product specification. Does that mean putting passengers' lives at risk? An MTRC executive insists it's not yet time to comment on the issue.
We believe we have to wait until the third stage, the stage of detailed structural analysis, including a consolidation of all the findings and information and data that we obtained from the first two stages. And only at that stage we can answer, we can be assured whether the structure is safe and sound.
He added that the MTRC will not rule out taking legal actions against Leighton Asia over its substandard performances. Meanwhile, an expert disagreed with the independent consultant's comments.
The problem is all those steel and copper have already installed into the concrete. It's unable for them to have further samples with the same material, same bar of the rebar. I don't think BD will accept this without our proper or related test result.
Sharon Tang, TVB News.
Turning overseas, in Indonesia, the number of dead has gone up to 373 after a tsunami struck towns along the rim of the Sunda Strait between Java and Sumatra Islands on Saturday night. That number is expected to rise as many of the affected areas have yet to be reached. Peter Covales has details.
Crews work to clean up the devastation.